why? Why? It's a question that rings out at the present moment in the corona pandemic. We're not in control. We don't know what the future holds. Why is this happening? And if God is anywhere, he doesn't seem to be really in control. It's very personal for me. My mum's been in hospital for the last 2 weeks with respiratory issues. She doesn't have the virus, but we are concerned that she may catch it. And the question of why is nothing new. It's something that we've been asking since we've been around. There was a funeral that Jesus went to of a friend of his, Lazarus. And Martha, Lazarus' sister, said to him, "If you'd been here, my brother wouldn't have died." She's kind of raising those big questions that we often ask of God when there's suffering and uncertainty. Are you in control? Are you around? Where have you been? What have you been doing? I've just got a few reflections that may shed some light into this really dark time. The first thing is that we need to choose our words carefully. There's a lot that has been said, not least by church and Christians. And sometimes we just need to sit with people, to mourn with them, to identify with them, and to recognise that there aren't words that really fill the gap and solve the issue. It's our presence and our love that is key at this time. There are no easy answers. I'd like to break into God's control room. I imagine he's got a big whiteboard up there in heaven and see what is he doing. How's he going to resolve this? What's the end game? I have more questions and more questions, but I have to wait for those answers. But really powerfully for me, there's a story of a God who weeps. At that same funeral, Jesus, seeing the suffering and the loss, wept. I can identify with a God who cries alongside me, who is angry alongside me at death and the pain it causes, the sorrow and the sadness. He's not indifferent. He didn't cause this. He's in the midst of it, the mess of it. For me, there is hope to be found, because that same God, Jesus, on that first Easter Sunday morning, came back from the dead. He's the God of life. He's the God of death. He suffered. He knows what it is. But he's also the God of resurrection. It's God who came to show us what fullness of life truly is all about. One day it will make sense. One day we'll understand what's going on. But for now, it doesn't. We have to hold on to things that he promises, that every tear will be wiped away from our eye. There will be no more death. There will be no more suffering. Hospitals will be redundant in our home in heaven. But waiting's really hard. I get frustrated. I find it difficult to understand. But I have to hold on. And for us all, it's okay to tell God how you really feel. To cry out to him, to shout at him, to talk to him. That is our invitation always.